Welcome back. Well, on a hot day like this, there's nothing like a cold glass of water, right? And depending on where you live, your tap water contains one of the most studied naturally occurring minerals in our nation's history. I'm talking about fluoride. And in recent years, fluoride in our drinking water is facing scrutiny from the highest levels. Tonight, we're going in depth. In one of President Trump's first cabinet meetings last year, where his team was sharing their most pressing priorities, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said this first.
We are working at HHS to advance your agenda to make America healthy again. I'm working with Lee Zeldin to reassess the fluoride rules based upon the August release by the National Toxicity Program of new science that shows a direct inverse correlation between exposure to fluoride and IQ loss, particularly in children.
RFK Jr. has been leading the charge to encourage states across our country to ban adding fluoride to drinking water. And you heard there, he was citing a study that claimed to have found a correlation between fluoride levels and lower IQs in children. And it's not just RFK Jr. Maybe you've seen some viral videos to the same effect.
Why would I want water with an extra ingredient if I could just have pure water?
So just 2 days ago, one of the largest and most extensive studies on this very topic was released. The research was conducted here in the U.S. and published by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. It measured fluoride in community water and its impact on thousands of people in Wisconsin. It looked at exposure during childhood and any impact on intelligence and brain function over the course of decades. Here's what the dean of UPenn's dental school told me it found.
And it was a very detailed study that followed where people were living and what water they were consuming. And it found that there was no difference in IQ or cognitive ability through aging associated with normal community fluoride water levels.
So what impact did fluoride have on people over decades? What did the study find?
So it found no changes in IQ and no changes in cognitive level of the patient, their ability to remember and to communicate. That's an important factor because there have been a number of publications that found difference in IQ, for instance, and those studies were not necessarily the best run, and none of them were run at community water fluoridation, which is what the Wisconsin study did. It followed these patients over time, and it understood clearly when and where they were getting their water consumption from.
So let's talk about that other study that you just referenced. There is a movement in this country, and it's now led by Health Secretary RFK Jr. to ban fluoridated water. 2 states have already banned fluoride in water, Florida and Utah. And often people who support bans are citing this National Toxicology Program study linking high levels of fluoride with lower IQs in children. So what should people understand about this study versus the large one we're talking about today?
This study looked at community fluoridated water, where municipalities add the fluoride to the water at very controlled levels. The other studies cited used 74 different countries. India, China had 45 studies in this, and they have naturally occurring fluoride at 6 times the level of what we do in our community with intent of fluoridating. So the question that comes up is, can you take a study that's using 6 times the fluoride level and extrapolate that to what we do in communities in the United States?
Dr. Mark Wolf there, he called that unfair. And he also said the levels are really key. So how much fluoride is in our water? It actually depends on where you live. In Philadelphia, according to the Philadelphia Water Department, they maintain the recommended level of fluoride recommended by the CDC, about 0.7 milligrams per liter. It's roughly the same for Camden in South Jersey and Wilmington in Delaware. But there are also dozens of communities across our region that do not add fluoride to water. In some PA collar counties, according to the CDC's database, it includes places such as Leesport Borough Water Authority in Berks County or Aqua PA Bristol and Quakertown Borough in Bucks County. The same goes for other parts of South Jersey. So what about the health of them and their teeth? Dr. Wolf told me who fluoridated water actually benefits the most.
So persons with disabilities who cannot brush as well, people that do not have the intent or income to go see dentists routinely, get the most benefit out of a public water fluoridation system. We get our fluoride through multiple ways today. We get fluoride through our toothpaste when we buy fluoridated toothpaste. Fluoride is one of the most studied elements that's put into our body over time. It's been since the 1950s put into some water supplies, not all. And the tooth decay rates in those areas are lower. There are a couple of Canadian sites that have removed fluoride from the water, and they've seen decay rates go up inside the mouth. Studies looking at cancers, studies looking at IQ have not been able to show a negative effect of that fluoride when fairly studied. People of wealth and people who have the abilities to go see dentists and take care of themselves extremely well, they get marginal benefit from this. But even the wealthiest person, as they grow old, loses the dexterity to brush or to clean their teeth. Just drinking water that has fluoride helps protect those teeth from tooth decay.
It's so interesting. Dr. Wolf and the CDC still cite fluoride in community water as one of the greatest public health success stories in our nation's history when it comes to combating teeth decay. Now, NBC News has also reached out to RFK Jr.'s team about this latest study, and they continue to point to the results of the flawed study that I described. However, the head of the CDC recently told a House committee that fluoride is essential for oral health.